you doing? My name's Darcy. I run a web design development firm here in Edmonton, Alberta called Pixel Factory. The website where you can find us is pixelfactory.ca. Be sure to check us out. I'm just talking about this like bootstrap theme that I've been building, and really kind of like take a look at like the design. Right now I'm doing it in Adobe XD, and talk about a little bit about the accessibility and how I'm approaching accessibility when I'm doing the design. So I'm making sure that the design does serve all users, just the regular users, and then the visually impaired, or anybody else who's kind of got some kind of disability. So this is sort of like where we're going with this theme right now. You can take a look at it. I have it's a bootstrap theme, so I have a light version and a dark version, because Bootstrap allows you to switch between theme colors, so you can have like a light and a dark version. And right now I'm really focused on making sure that all of the elements within the page, so even though this is just like a home page, there's actually quite a bit you have to think about for accessibility, and that really comes into play when you're talking about like colors and how they contrast, and making sure that they're really readable, and making sure there's lots of contrast, and also just making sure that the links within a page are all set up so that they're also got lots of contrast, very readable, and have all of the states that you need to have them in. So you need to have them just like in this regular state, a hover state, and then a focus state. So let's take a look here at this like light colored theme. The design here I have like on the main navigation, like just a regular kind of like navigation, but then you can see here's a hover state. It'll have like this blue background. This is set up so there's lots of contrast, and this would be the focus state, and the focus state also has that blue background, but then it also has this outline, this white outline. So like on all the links that I have throughout the design, they're all going to have this like focus state. The focus state is really important when it comes to like making sure that your site is accessible. So if you're doing design for a website and you're concerned about accessibility, make sure you actually put in the focus state, because that's really important for let's say you're not capable of using a mouse to navigate through your site. You're just using a keyboard, and you can actually navigate through a website using a keyboard with a combination of just the tab button, and then also the up and down arrows. So that's how a lot of like users will navigate through a website. So at any time they want to know exactly where they are, the focus state is going to tell them exactly where it is. There'll only ever be like one button or one link that will actually be in focus. So it's really important that you define a focus state for all these kinds of links. So that's what I've done with this main navigation. But you can see here with the other navigation as well, there's going to be like this outline button, these outline buttons as well, outline links. This is just like a text link. These will all also have like a hover state and then a focus state. Same with these buttons for the carousel, back and forth buttons, and then focus states, hover state for form fields, input fields. So this is just like a name, input field, email, text area, and then a button for sending the form. And then all these would also have that variations of hover and focus states. Same with like this field, and then social media links, all these kinds of links. They all have to have like hovers, and they also have to have focus states. So you can see already there's quite a bit involved, even with just like one page, just the home page, that you're dealing with when you're designing for accessibility. So like yeah, it's not an easy undertaking, but the good thing about like doing it at least on a one page, once you kind of got like a bunch of these things nailed down, they're easy to kind of like move through. If you've made decisions on like one page, chances are you're going to be able to like keep those rules, those design rules throughout the entire site. So anyways, like for the light theme, I'm very concerned about like the background colors and having enough contrast with the text so it's really readable. So I have this kind of like white background, a baby blue background, and then a gray background, and I'm making sure that all this text has tons and tons of contrast, so it's really easy to read for people who might have like issues with like visual impairments or something like that. There's a website that you can use that I've been using. It's called colorcontrast.cc, and you can check all of your contrasting colors. So that's kind of what I've been doing with some of this design, is going in double checking that like there's lots of contrast in the design. So you can see here, when I get it right, it's going to tell me I'm past AAA large, I passed AAA large, past AA normal, and AAA normal. So yeah, all my colors are got lots of contrast. So yeah, I do that for the light theme, okay, and then I also do that for the dark theme. You can kind of also see how this navigation is going to look on mobile. It's pretty straightforward, but the same idea. You're going to want to have like hover states and focus states for that. Yeah, this is sort of like what it would look like on a dark theme. And as I've been doing this, I've actually started kind of like a design system. Been taking some of these elements just out of the page and then putting them into this kind of like a mini design system. Just making sure that like there's lots of contrast with the colors so that they're very accessible, with all of the elements in all of these kinds of backgrounds. So like you can see here from the light colored theme, I have my white, I have my light gray, and then my baby blue backgrounds. And then for the dark colored theme, I have the dark brown, a little bit more, not quite as dark a brown, and then this like dark blue backgrounds. And all of these elements, you can see at some point will probably end up like on that kind of a background. So that's why I've been putting them on these backgrounds and just making sure that like all of the colors that I'm using are going to be able to work within those backgrounds and still be accessible. So it's actually quite a bit of work. Luckily for you, you don't have to actually watch me go through it because it's actually very time consuming. But like once you kind of get it, it's good, it's set, and you never have to think about it again. So you can kind of see how some of these elements will actually end up looking like with their regular state, hover state, and then the focus state. So for the button, for instance, I've got like those three states here. For these carousel buttons, same idea. For the text link, yeah, it's just this is what it would look like. Same with the input fields. These are just examples. So that's on the dark theme and the dark blue background, and then the same idea with this kind of like darker brown, and then the darkest brown here. Same idea with all of those hover states, and making sure that like those colors have all of the right amount of contrast so that they're 100% accessible. So that's kind of like some of the things you have to think about when you're doing design for your website if you want to make sure that it's accessible. Yeah, I'll probably be doing more of this. There'll probably be, and I don't think this will be the last time I go into the design file, but yeah, even now as I'm looking at this, I'm kind of thinking like I'm not totally in love with how these main navigations, hover and focus states look, but you know, I can change them later. But yeah, that's some of the things you're going to be thinking about when you're doing design for accessibility for this Bootstrap theme. I think probably next what I'm going to be doing is actually start doing some of the development. So taking some of the design that we have here and actually bringing it into Bootstrap and actually starting to create a Bootstrap theme, because I think there's enough information here to go on to that next stage. And yeah, I mean, if you find that interesting, you want to like learn a little bit more about you know, what the process is for, you know, creating a website that's going to have this is going to be fully functional as far as accessibility goes, then be sure to check out more of these videos. Yeah, thanks for tuning in. See ya.